Okay, so today we are going to discuss about electron spin resonance, that is also known as electron paramagnetic resonance. So in electron spin resonance, there is a requirement. What is that? That is there should be unpaired electron and spin must be half. यानी कि मॉलिक्यूल के अंदर अनपेड इलेक्ट्रॉन होना चाहिए और उनका स्पिन क्या होना चाहिए, हाफ. सो दिस इज द रिक्वायरमेंट फॉर इलेक्ट्रॉन स्पिन रेजोनेंस. अगर अनपेड इलेक्ट्रॉन है देन एंड देन ओनली molecule will give ESR spectra, otherwise it will not. For example, if we see the molecule of H2, there are two hydrogen H and H2. So if we draw a molecular diagram for H2 molecule, so we can draw like this. So in H2 molecule, there are two hydrogen and both hydrogen are having one electron. So there are total two electrons and both electrons can be filled in sigma orbital or bonding on molecular orbital. So there is no unpaired electron in bonding orbitals or anti-bonding orbitals. That's why H2 will not give EPR, and that's why it will be called as EPR inactive. Now again we see the example of boron B2. Boron has total 10 electron and it has 2p1 electron in its outer shell. So B1 also has 2p1 and B2 also has 2p1. That's why boron in its valence is boron B2 in its valence it has 2 electrons. And when we fill these 2 electron in its molecular orbital energy diagram, so we can fill like this, and the molecular, according to molecular orbital energy diagram, there are 2 unpaired electrons available with B2 molecules. That's why it will be EPR active. In case of O2, oxygen, there are two oxygen atoms, and both oxygens are having 8 electrons in its outermost shell. So that's why when we fill 8 electrons in its molecular energy diagram, so we can fill these 8 electrons like this: 3 electrons in uh, sigma and pi bonding orbitals, and 2 electrons in unpaired condition in pi star or pi anti-bonding molecular orbital. So it has 2 unpaired electrons. That's why it is EPR active. Uh, in case of NMR, the chemical shift value is measured in delta or ppm value, but in case of ESR the chemical shift value is measured as G value. So when we see the spectra of NMR and EPR, so in case of NMR spectra there is a sharp signal, but in case of EPR it is a broad signal. So and in EPR spectra, the spectra is spectra is drawn between G and I value. I is the spin value, G is the chemical shift value. So if we want to change it into sharp signal, then we have to take delta I by I in case of I only. Then we will get the sharp signal. And now why we are getting broad signal? That is the reason behind this. What is the reason? We know that delta P momentum and displacement is a constant product of momentum and displacement is constant for a particle. So similar thing can like this: delta width, this is the width of peak, and this delta t is the relaxation time. So when we multiply or the product of delta width and delta relaxation time is also constant. So जैसे जैसे टाइम इंक्रीज होगा, if there is increase in time, so delta width क्या हो जाएगी, कम हो जाएगी. सो इन केस ऑफ ईपीआर क्या होता है कि टाइम बहुत ही कम होता है, रिलैक्सेशन टाइम इज वेरी शॉर्ट इन केस ऑफ ईपीआर. दैट्स व्हाई वी गेट ब्रूट पीक. एंड इन केस ऑफ एनएमआर the relaxation time is high, that's why there is a sharp signal. In EPR, delta T is very less, that's why broad peak. So this is the reason behind the broad peak and sharp peak in case of NMR spectra and EER spectra. So in case of NMR, if we take the difference of chemical shape between two peaks, that is known as coupling constant, and that is denoted with J. In case of EPR, the difference in the G value of two peaks or two signals or two lines, that is denoted with R, and this is known as hyperfine splitting constant. Similarly, in NMR, this is called J coupling constant, but in case of EPR, it is known as hyperfine splitting constant and denoted with A. Now, we have to remember that in EPR, signal is always 1. EPR के केस में सिग्नल हमेशा 1 ही आएगा, and that signal can be splitted into lines, और वो जो सिग्नल है वो बाद में अलग अलग और मेनी लाइंस में स्प्लिट भी हो सकता है. सो दैट थिंग वी हैव टू रिमेंबर दैट इन ईपीआर सिग्नल इज ऑलवेज 1. So again we see that this is EPR inactive. H2 molecule is EPR inactive. If we want to make it EPR active, then we have to add one electron or we have to remove one electron from H2 molecule. If we add one more electron, it turns into anionic radical, and if we remove one electron from H2 molecule, it turns into cationic radical. In both cases, anion radical and cationic radical, it is EPR active. Now we have to find out the lines or splitting of this H2 free radical or H2 radical. Then splitting is always find out with the formula 2Ni plus 1. N, what is the N? N is the numbers of involved nucleus. How many nucleus are being involved in that splitting? And I is the spin of nucleus involved in a splitting. So in case of H2, there are two hydrogens or two nucleus. That's why the value of N will be 2, and spin is always half for hydrogen. Okay, so that's why the I value will be half. So when we solve this to Ni plus 1 by putting the value of N and I, then we get 3 lines in case of H2 radical, and the intensity ratio is 1 is to 2 is to 1. Similarly, if we take the example of methyl free radical or methyl radical, then there is condition that what is that H, abundance of H, naturally it is 100%, but in case of carbon there are two isotopes C12 and C13, and C12 is 98.9% available in nature, but in case of C13 it is only 1.1% available in nature. So we will take or we will consider only C13 carbon. Why? Because in case of C12 there is no spin, and if it is it doesn't have a spin, it means we cannot consider it in EPR spectra, but we will consider C13. Okay, so but C13 is uh, C13 has only 1.1% abundance in nature. So that's why we have to avoid it, and this such kind of nucleus is known as dilute nucleus. C13 is dilute nucleus. Dilute nucleus, why it is dilute? Why do we call it dilute? Because it has only 1.1% abundance in nickel in nature. So we will take only hydrogen. Okay, so we will take only hydrogen. So again, we are putting the value into Ni plus 1. There are 3 hydrogens. That's why N value will be 3.5. And spin for each hydrogen is half. So that's why if we solve this, then we will get 4. And their intensity ratio will be written like this: 1 is to 3 is to 3 is to 1. Similar to NMR spectra. Now if we take ethyl free radical, okay, so there are 2 carbons, but carbons are dilute, so that's why we will omit it. We will avoid them. We will consider only hydrogens. But there are 2 kinds of hydrogen available with ethyl free radicals. and those are denoted with H and HB. So there are 3 HB and 3 HA. It is similar to NMR. So chemically equivalent. There are these two H and H are chemically equivalent. Then HB and HB are chemically equivalent. So there are two kind of hydrogens present in this ethyl free radical. So we have to calculate the lines like this: 2NAi plus 1, 2 into 2NBi plus 1. And A and NB represents different kind of nucleus. So there are two different kind of nucleus. So in case of HA, there are two nucleus. That's why 2 into 2 into half. Half is spin for hydrogen plus 1. So that is 3. And if we solve this bracket, it is 4. So 3 into 2 is equal to 12. When we want, if we want to represent them, so we can represent their intensity like this. So first, these this is the 3 lines for Na, because this radical is with this carbon is as really working acting as radicals. That's why we will consider these two hydrogen first. So these two hydrogen are split into 3 lines. That's why we have written 1, 2, and 3, and their intensity ratio is 1, 2, and 3. Then these 3 lines further split into 4 individual lines. So 1 is split into 4. This also is split into 4. This also is split into 4, and their intensity is 1 is to 3 into 3 into 3. 1 is to 3 is to 3 is to 1. When we want, if we want to find out the final density intensity, then we have to multiply like this. This is the 1, we have to multiply this 1 to 1, this 1 to 3, this 1 to 3, this 1 to 1. So we will get 1 is to 3 is to 3 is to 1. Similarly like this, 2 into 1 2, 2 is 2 into 3 is equal to 6, 2 into 3 is equal to 6, 2 into 1 is equal to 2. So we finally we will get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 lines in case of ethyl free radicals. So these 12 lines come from like this. Now if we take an example of phenyl radical, benzene radical, so there are 6 hydrogens available, and all hydrogens are chemically equivalent. That's why 2 into n value will be 6 into half. This is the spin value of hydrogens, and by solving this we will get 7. So it means benzene free radical will give 7 lines. This is an anthracene molecule. So there are two kind of hydrogens available. These 4 hydrogens are in same chemical equivalent chemical environment, and these 4 terminal hydrogens are in the same chemical environment. So there are two kind of hydrogens available. That's why we have to use the formula like this: 2NAi plus 1 and 2NBi plus 1. So by solving this, 5 into 5 is equal to 25. So in case of anthracene radical, we will get 25 lines. Similarly, this is the molecule. So there are 4 hydrogens, and all 4 hydrogens are in same chemical environment. That's why 2 into 4 into half plus 1 is equal to 5. So, and again we take, this is the this example. So there are how many kinds of proton available? There are 3 kinds of protons. These 2 protons, these 2 H and H, these are same in equivalent environment. These 4 are in same chemical environment. These terminal 4 hydrogens are in same environments. That's why 24 into half plus 1, 24 into half plus 1, 22 into half plus 1. So that's why we will get finally 75 lines. Okay, so we will use this formula in case of this. So जितने ज़्यादा न्यूक्लियस है सेम इन्वायरमेंट के, उतने ज़्यादा अपने को फॉर्मूला फिट करने का एंड सबको आपस में मल्टीप्लाई करने का फॉर गेटिंग फाइनल लाइंस. Again, this is the example. So if we see this molecule, this radical, then we can say that these ortho positions hydrogens will be in the same environment. para positions hydrogen will be in the same environment, and meta positions hydrogens will be in the same environment. So there are three kinds of proton available. Ortho position will be same, meta position will be same, and para position will be same. So 2n ai plus 1, 2n bi plus 1 into 2n ci plus 1. So ortho position, if we count hydrogens at ortho position, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 2 into 6 into half plus 1. If we count on para position, 1, 2, and 3. So that's why 2 into 3 into half plus 1. And if we count at meta position, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 2 and 2, 6 into half plus 1 is equal to 7 into 7 into 4 is equal to 196 lines. In this radical, we will get 196 lines. This one thing you have to remember one thing, that 169 are not signal, these are lines. Signal is always 1 in case of EPR spectra. EPR स्पेक्ट्रा के केस में सिग्नल हमेशा एक आता है और वो सिग्नल फर्दर स्प्लिट होता है इनटू लाइंस. सो डोंट बी कंफ्यूज. अगर एग्जाम में आता है कभी कहीं पे भी कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्जाम में कि 196 लिखा है, तो दीज 196 वैल्यू रिप्रेजेंट्स लाइन, splitted lines in ESR. This is not signal. Signal is always 1 in case of EPR. Now intensity ratio, if spin is not half, अगर स्पिन अगर किसी की हाफ नहीं है तो इंटेंसिटी रेशियो पे क्या इफेक्ट होगा, दैट वी हैव टू डिस्कस. सो देयर आर कंडीशंस. इफ n is equal to 1, n means number of nucleus involved in splitting. So if n is equal to 1 and spin is 1, spin is 3 by 2 and spin is 2. So there are three conditions, three spins, I is equal to 1, I is equal to 3 by 2 and I is equal to 2. But one thing is common, that is n is equal to 1. So in case of n is equal to 1 and if spin is 1 only, then we will calculate like this: 2 into n is 1 into spin is 1 plus 1 is equal to 3, and their intensity ratio will be 1 is to 1 is to 1. If spin is 3 by 2, then we will calculate 2ni plus 1 is equal to, that is 4. Total lines are 4 and intensity ratio will be 1 is to 1 is to 1 is to 1. And if I is equal to 2, then 2 into 1, 1, this belongs to nucleus, and n is equal to 1. Nucleus is 1. So that's why 2 into 1 into 2 plus 1 is equal to 5 lines, and the intensity ratio will be 1 is to 1 is to 1 is to 1 is to 1. So you remember it, that if n is equal to 1 and doesn't matter कि spin कोई सी भी है, then intensity will be 1 1 1 only. So if we are getting 9 lines, then the intensity will be 1 is to 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 1. So if spin is 1, then 1 is to 1 is to 1. Spin is 3 by 2, 1 is to 1 is to 1 is to 1. So आपको ये याद रखना है कि अगर n एक है और i की वैल्यू 1 3 बाय 2 या 2 है, तो इंटेंसिटी रेशियो क्या होगा, सब में 1:1 के रेशियो में ही आएगा. नाउ सेकंड इज इफ n इज इक्वल टू 2. अब न्यूक्लियस क्या होगा, चेंज होगा. स्पिन सेम है, i इज इक्वल टू 1, i is equal to 3 by 2, I is equal to 2. Spin is the same. Okay, but n is equal to क्या, 2 आ गया, जो कैलकुलेट करेंगे इन द बाय पुटिंग द वैल्यू ऑफ n and I in the formulas we will get. In case of spin 1, n is equal to, there are 5 lines. So NMR में जैसे अपन लिखते हैं वैसे 1 1 2 2 and 3. Similarly, if spin is 3 by 2 and n is equal to 2, then 2 into 2 into 3 by 2 is equal to 7 lines, and the intensity ratio will be like this: 1 1 2 2 3 3 and 4. Okay, and if I is equal to 2, then we will get 9 lines and we will write the intensity ratio like this. First to last में आप total 9 लिखना है आपको. First and last में 1 1, then again 2 2, then 3 3 4 4 5. So this is the thing how to write the intensity ratio in case of n is equal to 2. Now third condition is if n is equal to, okay, let's take an example like D3C. We have in methyl free radical, we have replaced hydrogen by deuterium. Deuterium is the isotope of hydrogen. So ये कोई एक free radical है, there are n is equal to 3 है. क्या है? n is equal to 3. ओके, n इज इक्वल टू 1 के लिए अपन देख चुके हैं, n इज इक्वल टू 2 के लिए देख चुके हैं. नाउ n इज इक्वल टू 3 के लिए अपन एग्जांपल के साथ वी विल डिस्कस. सो देयर आर n इज इक्वल टू 3 एंड ड्यूटेरियम की स्पिन क्या होती है, 1. हाइड्रोजन की स्पिन क्या होती है, हाफ. ड्यूटेरियम की 1 होती है स्पिन. ये याद रखने का आपको So if we put the value in the formula, then we will get 7 lines in case of D3C radical. ओके, तो 7 लाइन का अपन अगर n इज इक्वल टू 3 है, कंडीशन क्या है, n इज इक्वल टू 3, तो उसका इंटेंसिटी रेशियो आप याद कर लेना। इसमें वो वाला फॉर्मूला नहीं चलेगा कि 1 1 दोनों साइड में लिख दिया, फिर 2 2 फिर 3 3, ऐसा नहीं चलेगा। सो यू हैव टू रिमेंबर दिस 1:3:6:7:6:3:1, ये आपको याद रखना। कभी कभी एग्जाम में पूछ सकते हैं कि अगर n इज इक्वल टू 3 है, स्पिन इज इक्वल टू ये है 1 2 3 और 1 3/2 और 2, तो इंटेंसिटी रेशियो क्या होगा। सो इंटेंसिटी रेशियो इन केस ऑफ n इज इक्वल टू 3 एंड स्पिन इज इक्वल टू 1, देन इंटेंसिटी रेशियो विल बी 1:3:6:7:6:3:1. In such kind of free radicals, there are hydrogen also available with deuterium. So there are two kind of nucleus, D and H. So 2Ni plus 1 and 2Nbi plus 1. We will use this formula. So there are 2D, so that's why n value will be 2. There is 1H, n value will be 1. By solving this, we get 10 lines. How many? 10 lines. So 10 lines का अपन इंटेंसिटी रेशियो कैसे बना सकते हैं, बिकॉज फर्स्ट आपको क्या दिख रहा है 5, ये जो 5 है ये वापस फर्दर स्प्लिट होता है 5 इंटू 2 में 10 में। तो 5 के लिए अपन इंटेंसिटी रेशियो, क्योंकि D इज इक्वल टू 2 है, ये ड्यूटेरियम के लिए 5 5 किसके लिए है, ड्यूटेरियम के लिए, और D इज इक्वल टू D क्या है 2 है, तो वी विल यूज दिस n इज इक्वल टू 2। सो n इज इक्वल टू अगर 2 है तो इंटेंसिटी रेशियो 5 के केस में कितना लिखते हैं 1:2:3:2:1। सो वी हैव रिटन हियर 1:2:3:2:1। नाउ अब जो इंडिविजुअल 1 2 3 2 1 आया, ये वापस क्या होगा 2 2 में स्प्लिट होगा। क्यों होगा, क्योंकि यहाँ पे अपन ने कैलकुलेट किया है 2, सो अगेन 2 में स्प्लिट होगा। और n इज इक्वल टू यहाँ पे क्या है, हाइड्रोजन कितना 1 है, तो 1 के केस में n इज इक्वल टू 1, इसमें क्या होता है हमेशा 1:1 ही रहती है इंटेंसिटी। तो ये वापस 2 में स्प्लिट हुई, ये भी 2 में 2 में 2 में, सब 2 2 में स्प्लिट होगी 1:1 1:1 1:1 1:1 1:1। और फाइनली मैंने आपको बताया कि how do we calculate, we have to multiply 1 into 1 1 1 into 1 1 2 into 2, so at the end we are getting 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 lines, and their intensity is 1:1:2:2:3:2:3:2:2:1:1। तो इन एग्जाम कम्पिटेटिव एग्जाम ये पूछा जाता है आपको कंफ्यूज करने के लिए, ऐसा कोई दे देंगे एंड देन जस्ट राइट द इंटेंसिटी रेशियो। तो ये होगा इसका इंटेंसिटी रेशियो। ओके